Welcome friends to Ayasa, Shadows of Silence. Now this cheeky little game is in early access at the moment, or early release for lucky devils like me to have a little look at. It's a platformer that blends horror, quests and puzzles into a thrilling adventure, allegedly. And I think it might. Not quite Helldivers, but I appreciate the effort. We love an explosion. Cheeky buttocks, hello. Yeah, I think you heard me. He's a pretty one. Even the smallest spark. First things first, this is Ayasa. Everybody say hi. Hi, Ayasa. It seems it's up to Ayasa to embark on a perilous journey through the devastated lands of faith, hope, love, greed, indifference, and betrayal. So we've got 6 lands there that are corrupted by the darkness, and we're going to have to find a way out. Oh my god, that noise is horrid. I think they could probably notch that down a bit, to be honest. It's a hell of a shriek. I don't think it's needed. Overall, from what I've seen so far, this is me recording after I played it a bit, so actually I'm kind of voicing over it right now. But it looks lovely. I think the character model could maybe do a bit more work. It seems a bit just slightly out of place, but only slightly. I think it's a decent job. It could be maybe lacking a few more movements, possibly. There's parts you'll see in a minute where it's just kind of not really on or in the world. Do you know what I mean? But I think giving it a chance with a bit of polishing, this could do really well. It's got that kind of Little Nightmares platformer feel about it with the darkness, and I'm sure there's other games, but that would be my reference go-to. Certainly here it's not obvious that you could just go in the water. One thing I think they could maybe add to it, and they might well do as the game progresses, is maybe a touch more guidance. At least in this initial bit and the next phase after. If you're a new gamer, you're going to need that more than most. And there isn't an option yet to toggle it either way, so it could be something you toggle. But as this is still early in production, I think it may be something they add, especially if somebody suggests it. I think it could be well needed. Like, you've got the initial kind of, here's how you push something, here's how you can jump. Some bits could be a little bit more obvious with the right route to go. And there's going to be puzzles that come up where you maybe have multiple options. But in this first bit, a lot of it feels kind of pointless. It's not really setting anything up. It's almost like it's there to just fill the area. There's nothing to collect. There's no achievements yet. I imagine maybe they'll add that in at some point. And this bit here, we find, we find a first bug, which is totally fine, it's to be expected, and you're probably not supposed to go up there. But there's a ladder. I thought I'd try and climb it. Now, I am a bit of an explorer, to be fair. I like to not go where I'm probably supposed to. And like, if there's a box with the lid open, I'd really like the animation to go in the box, please. So, I mean, after a few attempts, this did work, but that first one, yeah, it's not something you should uninstall the game for, but if you're going to design it with an open hatch, let you go in them. And then you might want to sort the clipping out also, because we're going to do it. But I'm not going to ignore stuff like that. I'm going to try and go up that way. Now, this bit, I died more than once, got to be honest. But I think it was more to do with, there's kind of some jankiness with that. Yeah, partly skill issue. The other times I just totally missed that log. It was like, you'd have to kind of angle yourself slightly diagonally down, but you don't. You just have to go straight across. It took me a few goes to kind of get there in my head, really. So maybe that's more of a skill issue. You let me know in the comments. Lo and behold, we have some sneaking. Get to sneaky. It isn't obvious at first that that's why I ran past that ball monster thing a few times before I realised I could probably just sneak past it. So maybe a little bit more guidance on that bit, and some of the other bits ahead would be great. they do a fantastic job of making each of these sections really atmospheric. The sound, the way it looks, and these little puzzle bits like the jumping and stuff, you know, some of it's a bit janky, but overall it's enjoyable. So far, I think, like I said earlier, there's still some polishing to do. Definitely some more work to be done, like this bit here. Failed a few times out, I didn't really get why. I've tried to jump on top of the cage, it didn't work the first time. You think you jump up and it would trick it to go in, and then you close the gate, but then you jump on the gate and you'd probably pull it down. In the end, you'll see here, like I'm trying to maybe think, oh, do I go through it and jump through? That doesn't make any sense. I've been down before, been around, it didn't do anything. All you had to do was that. Which is just... Anyway. There's a few bits like this which I experienced, and I only played it for a little bit, to be fair. That was enough for me to just put it down and wait for them to improve it, to be honest. And this bit here and the bit just after were the kind of two nails in the coffin for me to think, right, I'll wait for them to make some adjustments, polish it off, because these guys, I couldn't quite understand what it was that was triggering them. You're thinking sound, so you're thinking creep. I'm creeping with no footsteps. That guy on the left doesn't see me, but somehow he does. So then is it echolocation and he's clocked me, but then the other guy should have done. Is it because I'm in the light? I'm not quite sure. Also, he follows me. He's come over to kill me, but because I'm crouched, he's just gonna walk with me. And this happened a few times, and you can't shake him off. I thought maybe this time I could lose him here. He might get stuck, but he absolutely bolted back around. I got past him eventually in the next try by just kind of getting past a pair of him, jumping up on those crates. But yeah, I think something needs to be done about that bit. Either kill me straight away, at least. And again, I said earlier at the start, a little bit more guidance would be lovely. I think ultimately it seems like there's good promise in this game. Graphics, love it. I think the character could do it a bit more, polishing and rounding off some of the motion and some of the movements when you're trying to climb and all the rest of it. And bits like this, just a bit more polishing would be nice. Would just make the game feel a bit better. And that bit, that plank, I don't know if it's supposed to fall that way. It was very annoying. I'd rather it just go straight over, thanks. Maybe it's part of the challenge and puzzle. I did get around it eventually. You can just jump onto the ledge as long as you can get down the plank. But the fact you can't get on it easily was a bit of a ball ache. And it's kind of a similar story through some of the rest of it that you might have not seen the multiple times where I died. It just didn't feel, just like I said earlier, a little bit janky. But I like the storyline, I like the idea. It seems like it's got great promise. And I have to see what they do on the next sort of releases and as they make some improvements and updates. But I think you'll see, like, graphics wise, I think it's lovely. Very atmospheric. The use of the sound is good. There's some parts where maybe they could dial it down a bit, and some odd bits like earlier when there was the prisoners kind of screaming, it all sounded like it was coming from the left in my headset, but they were to my right. I mean, maybe it's because it's to her left because she's moving left to right. Didn't feel right. In our head, I think it should still come from the right hand side. Definitely one worth putting on your wish list, especially if you like these kinds of games, you know, platformers, sort of side scrollers, sort of slightly horror, worth keeping an eye on. And for now, you'll probably enjoy it, but I think with a little bit more polishing, it'll be even better. If you can let me know what you think about this video, anything you didn't like. Usually I just stream 2 to 3 days a week over on Twitch, as well as recently onto YouTube and TikTok. But I like to do a bit more curated stuff, a bit like this, so love it if you could smash that like button. If you don't already follow or sub, maybe consider that too. It'd be amazing if you could. And until the next one, ciao for now.